show them we can rise from ash. Jade, Lavender, and Scarlet, Phoenix power. Together we will rise. They tried to burn us, we bloom like a flower. They didn't know we had a Phoenix's power. Phoenix power.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jade Phoenix. We are here. We are in a different place. We are actually in a griffin's nest. So because of that, I'm actually going to introduce first Crimson. Hi.
Hey, how's everyone going?
Thanks for having us in your nest.
Of course.
Of course. And then, of course, we are joined by
It all started when I was born.
our Lavender.
Hi, and I really love how cozy your nest is, Mr. Griffin.
Thank you.
Very much so.
It is a very cozy, it almost feels like a dragon's nest because there are so many goodies in here and shiny things.
Yeah.
You know,
I
so
like my collectible.
who knows? You might have some dragon DNA in there somewhere.
Probably.
The hoarding of magical objects.
The horde. No, that griffins do that too.
I didn't know that.
We hoard and protect as
Yeah.
well.
Wow, okay, I love that. I'm learning something new every day.
Yeah. Why don't you lay some griffin lore on
Please
us?
do.
Well, griffins are considered guardians
Yeah.
of treasures as well.
Yeah.
So,
Where dragons are greedy, a griffin is not. Correct?
in a way, yes, because dragons, it's like they'll protect something, but it's more for themselves. Griffins, they'll protect something even if it's not for themselves.
Yeah.
Got it. So, like how I'm a book dragon along with Jade because we love our bookies. And sometimes we will share them. Sometimes.
I share them with you.
Exactly. Because we're fellow book dragons. So, like, we understand the importance of the book coming back and the book making its way back to its lair. But I collect them for myself. They're not to protect for anyone else. Unless it's ones that my grandpa left me. That's like the one exception.
I'm starting to make like some small book collections too.
It's true. I've been helping with
I
that.
literally just got and this is because of Magic and everything, but like for Magic the Gathering, I actually got the new Strixhaven book too.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Which is
I was just
great.
like,
Wait, there's books?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
so much lore in Magic that it's ridiculous. They actually do have a whole series of books. It's the same way that Dungeons and Dragons also has whole like backstories and lore.
Okay,
Kind of
yes.
like critical role
Gotcha, yeah.
and stuff like that. That has become like gospel
Yes.
to the actual game.
yeah.
Gameplay and stuff like that. But Magic the Gathering does have that whole like world with like the planeswalkers and everything like that.
Oh, cool.
And it's really, really cool. And it's great that you mentioned that because our episode last week was me and you talking about Magic the Gathering,
Yes.
which you can catch on all our listening platforms.
It was very fun, everyone. I felt really bad that I had to miss it, but I loved tuning in and listening to my two besties here just divulge all things magic.
Well, you were too busy watching your team lose.
You know what? Danhausen, I am calling to you
No!
into the beyond. Please, I will give you human monies.
You're a monster. Curse.
I will actually pay you to uncurse the Mets.
He did
Please.
say that he would do it.
He did, and he didn't get enough human monies, which is why it only worked for the one game. I, Danhausen, however, am receiving bonus human monies that I am willing to give you. But, you know, you gotta deliver. And you always do.
Would he accept money if I outbid? Would he counter that?
I think
He might,
He
actually.
might. He cares very deeply about human monies.
If I give him the same amount you're giving, but $1 more.
Maybe you'll have us, like, you know, prove who is the most worthy of being uncursed.
Just like, okay, just because you give $1.
I trust that, you know, Danhausen obviously will hear this through the very evil, very nice magical ether in which he lives.
Well, considering the fact that the Nando Squatch does call me Jadehausen,
It all makes sense.
he's called me Jadehausen for years now because I am very, very nice, but very, very bitchy. You may laugh. You may laugh.
We're
Just
in
let
your
it out.
nest. It's a safe place.
Just let it out. We're in your place. You can laugh at me.
Ah.
But actually, it is true. Jade Housen is very, very nice, very, very evil. You know, because I'm very sweet, but I'll fuck you up.
You will be cursed.
You will be cursed. Mhm. I mean, I did it already to a couple people, but
Cut.
anyway. Nanny.
I'll be right back.
And most importantly, that was my plea to you, Danhausen, before we dive into today's topic, which kind of, goes into Danhausen a little. He is kind of the whimsical evil creature of the WWE right now.
Sort of. I mean,
I call him whimsical.
I would say that he definitely has a whimsy style of being, but I wouldn't say that he's a magical, whimsical creature. He's more of a demon.
Yeah. But then again,
then again, we also actually got the demon back.
Exactly. Oh my God.
In WWE.
Yes, that was the most. Well, I had a feeling about that storyline ever since all the beef originally happened.
Yeah, I knew it was
with
coming
Dom.
back.
Like I knew it was gonna happen. It was just a matter of when.
We kept getting hints. All right, they were like anybody who's been a fan of wrestling, and big shout out to Mid Island Collectibles for hosting ECW day at the store. It was a great turnout. The Feinics Gate was in attendance. Our Crimson was not though, because he was readying his nest for our invasion.
Yes.
But we have so many amazing interviews coming to you guys, so you need to be following us on all of our social media, our YouTube, our Instagram, our TikTok. That's where you're going to find those interviews. Also, if you give the shop IG a follow, Mid Island Collectibles on Instagram, you'll see a lot of stuff there. Also, big shout out because our Lavender finally got to see the Feinics Gate's physical brick and mortar store in person.
It was very exciting. I loved it. It was beautiful. It was everything I hoped it would be.
It was amazing. And we are still doing every Thursday night at Mid Island Collectibles. We are doing open table game night where you can learn, since we will be talking about whimsical things today. If you haven't noticed, we're going to be talking, we do D&D, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Call of Cthulhu, and Pirate Borg, and Warhammer.
I didn't know Call of Cthulhu was a tabletop game.
Yeah.
That is so fucking neat. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a
it is.
Cthulhu girly, so.
If you ever come out to one of the game nights, you could totally
Fuck
play.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Mid Island Collectibles in the Broadway Mall. Yes, it is still open. So come out.
Don't be scared.
I'm
We're
done.
not leading you into a cult trap.
I'm so done with my plugs though right now, because like all I've been doing is just plugs. Plugs.
Plug, plug, plug.
I mean, this is what I do. Exactly. It's what we do. But speaking of whimsy, what would your definition of whimsy be, Crimson? Since you are the most whimsical person I've ever met.
So if I am, then why are you asking me this question?
Because you are the most unwhimsical but whimsical person I've
But
ever met.
whimsical.
You are very. It is an underground whimsy. It's like I have to drag it out of you with freaking just come out whimsy.
I have my own style of doing things. That's it.
Really? I would have
Yes.
never guessed.
Nah, you fuck out of here. Come on.
I don't know.
Tell us.
Like, I mean,
It's your story.
me in terms of whimsical.
Tell us your story. Do it.
I mean, hey, when it comes to whimsical stuff, I mean, for me, I just like being more of that sort of way of just making people laugh in some sense. Not really too much of like the other aspects of whimsical or being whimsical. I'm not really too, it's just not me. I can't sit here and say, yeah, I'll do it. Nah, it doesn't suit me.
Okay, well, what would you say? Because defining whimsy, it's playful, it's unpredictable, it's slightly absurd, but not chaotic evil, more like chaotic charming.
I think you're chaotic
Yeah.
charming.
I definitely think you're chaotic charming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so you are whimsical.
because I like busting people's balls and laughing.
Exactly. I feel like that falls under whimsy.
Yeah, I think so. But
You
would
know?
you, so like, what about you, Lav? Like, what is your definition of whimsy?
So for me, if I'm talking like personally for myself and how we use whimsy as human beings to just deal with the decrepit world around us, I personally view it as just like having no inhibitions. You have that nice, magical kind of sense of just being able to live out a form of a fairy tale or a fantasy, whether it be cosplay, whether it be Kaluna Embassy. We get to
Yeah.
take the time to kind of break down these barriers that we've been told are the reality of being an adult. And I think it's so important to have these whimsical outlets where you're just being yourself, living as your most authentic self, even if it's in being fun and creative and wacky. Because honestly, we have a lot to be concerned about all the time as human beings, no matter what's going on, where it's going on. It's concerning to be an adult. So it's nice to break those chains and just be able to be.
Yeah.
Agreed. I completely agree. For me, I think that whimsy is like glitter for the brain.
I love that.
You know, it's unnecessary, slightly impractical, and somehow everything feels better once it's there.
I don't
Yeah,
like,
it really
I don't like
does.
glitter though.
Yes,
Well,
you
then-
do.
No,
Your-
I
yours
don't.
is
You
gold
totally
dust.
like glitter.
Okay, gold
I
dust.
hate glitter.
I'm gonna put it in your beard.
Gold dust
No.
speckles.
Yes, the glitter beard is going to happen.
I want to
No,
see this
it's not.
glitter beard
It's
so
either that
fucking
you have a
bad.
choice: glitter beard or flower beard.
Neither.
Pick one.
Pick one.
I am picking none.
Well, this is your whimsical little, like, if you had to.
If I had to,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would rather put.
He's gonna be so annoying.
Yeah.
I was going to say
I
something like,
would-
I'd rather shave my whole face.
No.
No, absolutely not. I would rather put Christmas ornaments in my beard than flowers.
Okay,
Oh,
but
then
like,
we'll do
that's
that.
so fun.
I've done that before.
We're gonna do it again.
actually. I would love that.
That's too bad. I hate the holidays.
It
No.
will be.
It will be. And like, what if with Kaluna you put these little things
Christmas
on your
in July.
beard? Christmas in July. That's whimsy right
I just
there.
I just take a vacation to Portugal for the month of December.
No, we're talking Christmas in July, my friend. This is happening in July.
No.
So now here's another question I have for you guys.
Absolutely.
What would you say is the difference between whimsy versus weird versus pure delusion?
You know what? I think this is essentially pretty easy to answer. I feel like weird is like not a fair assertion just because like who's to say what's weird and what's not weird. So I'm gonna like
Neurotypicals.
exactly. So I'm gonna completely ignore that one. However, we do need to remember that it's okay to sip the Delulu lemonade, to chug it even. However, you know, part of what makes whimsy so wonderful is that it's your escape from your real life, but you also have a real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when it does cross a line. If you think that the whimsy is just your only life, like
I mean, I kind of have a slightly different perspective
Okay,
on
yeah,
that. To
bring it
describe
on.
it. It's more just like you're saying the difference between whimsy, weird, and then delusional, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
So the way I would say I view the whimsical part is more I guess whimsical would be like, yeah, like you're I guess let's say you're taking on sort of a character, right? For
Yes.
like any sort
Totally.
of role play or whatever, right? You're acting out in this sort of character that's whimsical, right? And they have their sort of interesting characteristics that's a little bit more, either chaotic or,
Glittery.
glittery, yeah. But
Shiny.
there's a difference between that and delusional. Like if we're talking about like let's say in the aspect of delusional, even if you're playing that character role, you still understand where like
Yeah, you understand the line.
where there's a line when it comes to delusional people. There is a line.
Is there?
there is no line for delusional people. They don't. That's the point of being called delusional.
No, exactly. It's like
There's
I
a line.
cosplay Rey from Star Wars, but I don't think I am Rey, nor do I think I'm Daisy Ridley, or
Not
think
even
anyone
just like
else
that.
can
Let's
be.
just say you even play a character that has wings and you just think you can fly and you just
Yeah.
automatically jump off a fucking 5-story building. Like that's delusional.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerously
That's
delusional.
dead.
That's
we don't suggest
dangerously-
that, by the way.
Very,
Phoenix
very
Gate-
much unsuggested.
The
at
Feinics
all.
Gate does not condone you jumping off of a 5-story building.
Yes, please don't.
Yes.
I mean, it's great job security for me, but don't do it.
Don't, please.
Don't do it.
But yeah, that's that. But you get my point. Like,
Yeah.
there's almost like you're taking yourself out of quote unquote like reality, right? To kind of take on this sort of persona
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's whimsical, but it doesn't take you out of. Let's just say if a situation happens, you need to actually
Exactly. You
change
know
that shit
where
and
you are,
and you
what's
need
happening.
To, like, yeah.
No, like prime example, like when I'm dressing up as the Summers Fox for Kaluna Embassy, I don't think I'm an actual fairy queen when I'm out of my persona.
Crazy.
I mean, I'm a queen.
I mean, you are a queen.
I'm a queen, but not a freaking, magical fairy that can turn into a fox. I wish.
I think we all wish that.
Fucking wish. But I do not actually think that that's who I am. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Like,
Yeah.
it is a aspect of my personality that I created because I wanted to be whimsical, because I wanted to escape everyday life. It's not my actual personality.
Yeah,
It's an add-on.
exactly.
That's why, and that's
It's
why
a skin.
I was,
Yeah.
It's like a video game
So
skin.
that's why I'm like that's what I'm trying to get at, where it's just like you know where the line is where it separates.
Yeah.
So, but let's be honest here.
There are a lot of
Wait,
people that don't.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that don't.
There's a lot of people that don't, and they'll sometimes they even cross lines with people, which obviously is not right.
Yes, please don't do
In
that.
terms of, and that even plays into the aspect of weird in the sense of just like, they'll take the character just a wee bit too serious.
What did he say?
just a wee.
Just a wee.
Just a wee. But yeah, no, like as long as anyone who is playing in a sort of character role of any kind, they know where the lines are. Right? Usually. I'm just saying in general, like if they
yeah.
actually do, preferably, it's more for not just for their own comfort, but also
Safety?
Yes.
No, because that is true. Because honestly, we are talking whimsy versus weird versus Delulu. And the thing is there's also a very fine line between weird and whimsy, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can be whimsical and also so fucking weird that even other whimsical people are like, no.
Oh,
What?
I remember meeting a couple people like that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Where they take it and instead of making it an escape, they make it their entire personality, but they
Oh, I
still
see. Okay.
don't cross into the Delulu zone.
Yeah, like they understand that there are some just like limitational.
Not even that. They
things.
understand that they are not what they actually are, but
Yeah.
they make that their entire being anyway.
Yeah, they make it a little too like over the top, but also like I do sometimes think that can be, what's the word? Dependent on certain people.
Agreed. And then also at the same time, I would have to point out that like it is also very much where you start making other people uncomfortable
Yeah,
with
that's
your
the
whimsy.
biggest problem.
That's when you cross into like weird and just not good territory.
Like,
you're still not Delulu,
Yeah.
but you're still just like, ugh.
Like you're crossing those boundaries when you even make the people that act weird feel weirded out.
Yes.
Like you're doing the most.
Yeah, for real. Because like, here's the problem: we're all cosplayers of various levels, and when especially in cosplay world, you run into those cosplayers that truly think that they are the actual
God.
characters that they are cosplaying, which is great as an escape from everyday life. But when you literally make that entire thing your entire persona, that is Delulu territory.
Oh, 1,000,000%. It's like those are people that like make me uncomfortable. Like,
Right.
and also you need to remember, especially in whimsical activities, you don't even need to be the person that's participating in the whimsy. Please understand that people still have boundaries and they still have not normal human respect.
Right.
Because I feel like that happens a lot in like the cosplay space is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
Like my little form of whimsy is I get to dress as my favorite Star Wars character. I don't need a gross, smelly man baby telling me that I'm not pretty enough to be that character or oh, I hate your character so much.
Yeah, because they don't like the movies.
And it's like, okay, like totally respect your opinion, but obviously I
Get
enjoy
fucked.
this character. You see that I enjoy it. Please leave me alone.
Fuck your life. Bing bang.
Basically. So like this brings me to another question I have for the masses, for you two. Is whimsy more of an aesthetic, a mindset, or a coping mechanism?
I'm just thinking of that little girl in the taco commercial, except instead of saying like, oh, why not both? I would say, why not all three?
A bit of each.
I
I
would
think it's a
say-
little bit of each.
I do say that it takes a piece from each pie, but at the same time, when is it? That's enough slices.
That's fair. Like, I think it also is like, it depends, right? So I think a really great example is like, I love going to Disney World. Like, besides the fact that like I worked there, I love Disney overall.
Right.
And it's like a little bit of everything. It's a coping mechanism. It's a place where I can escape.
Yep.
Where I can kind of like live within the fairy tale, but also knowing the boundaries of it, right? I know it's not everyday life. I know that it's just for fun and relaxation and to take the stress off my shoulders.
Yeah.
And then it also goes into like kind of an aesthetic because also like when I go to Disney, I like to get all dressed up like I'm somewhere magical. Like it makes me feel good to put like a nice dress on with my cute little sequin ears I would never wear anywhere outside of Disney World. Like, you know, that's where the aesthetic piece is. And then what was the other piece you were asking about?
I didn't.
Oh, it was just aesthetic.
Aesthetic versus mindset versus coping
Okay.
mechanism.
So mindset, I feel like also goes a little bit into coping mechanism because it's like a great, when I'm in Disney, I am in the mindset that I'm in Disney, that it's about play. It's about fun. Everyone at Disney is just, every adult, in my opinion, is just a big kid. And you should be there to be able to be fun and have fun and play. And so it's like, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like a lot of situations, it is a little bit of everything.
Okay, that's fair. What about you, Crimson?
I guess when it comes to that, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Kayla in this aspect because I even said it right at the beginning when he asked it. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely a little bit of everything. It trying to see because Kayla kind of hit it on every aspect.
Yeah, Lavender did totally do that. She,
or Lavender,
every
yeah.
single nail on the head.
Yeah, in that aspect, because it's just like, you know, you have a little bit of everything when it comes to that, and yeah, it is also true that it you know, mindset and the oh my god, what was the third one again?
Coping
Thank
mechanism.
you, coping. Those kind of, at least mindset kind of goes into coping a little bit, especially, you know, some people, they like it as a way to, you know,
Emotional damage.
yeah, to kind of just either just, you know, get away from life stresses and just kind of a way to kind of decompress from day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's you know, I feel like for people who do love cosplaying or even any form of LARPing too.
Mm-hmm. It all falls in the same categories.
It all falls in the same category. So you can, you know, it takes a little bit of aspects from all.
I agree. And like, so this is where we go into like the psychology of whimsy. And this goes where, why do our brains crave the novelty and surprise? Like, obviously dopamine hits, serotonin, you know, things that we loved in our childhood that now we get to do as adults with adult money.
That's always very exciting.
Or things that we weren't able to do because we were suppressed from our whimsy as children. So I do feel like on a psychological level, this also does like allow whimsy is like a rebellion against routine and burnout, which as adults we are forced into.
Yeah.
Like we have our jobs, we have our responsibilities, we have to, you know, we live in a capitalistic society where the almighty dollar goes a long way. So like, why not use our human monies to give a little sparkle? You know, go and be the magical griffin or the fairy or, you know, a book dragon. Like that is all in the realm of whimsy.
I fully agree. And I think something I've been seeing a lot, and I actually really love these trends online, And while I don't think like, don't see everything you see on TikTok verbatim, but I do love that it's allowed some of us that are like, and I'm going to use the word weird again, but I mean it in just, we have different types of interests that aren't normally considered by adults to be mature. Like one of my favorite little videos I saw recently was a girl, and she had posted with all her friends and said, you know, make it a point that as an adult, just do the weird thing. Like go to the American Girl store and go to the little lunch and bring your doll you never got to bring to the little cafe.
Yeah.
And get just dressed up for you. I'm like, you know what? That's so real. Like, why would I, like, look, the world is hard enough as it is.
Especially now.
Especially now. So why wouldn't I just do this
Emotional
thing
damage.
that makes me happy? Because it's not harming anyone.
As long as you're not harming anyone.
Exactly. Like in that respect, you're not harming anyone. You're just enjoying something that you love with people that you love who are also into this interest.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you have a good core group of people that
Yes.
don't try to like turn it into this whole gang mentality.
Yeah, you don't want
Yeah.
that.
You know, where there's, you know, a hierarchy and this person's in the popular clique, that person's not in the popular clique, so therefore you can't come and hang out, you can't go and party, you can't wear you can't wear the pretty things, you can't wear the sparkly things. That is not okay when you start gatekeeping whimsy.
That's not even whimsy, in my opinion, anymore.
No.
It becomes something completely toxic and completely different.
Agreed. So would you say that whimsy is a form of emotional regulation?
Yeah, it is for me.
Crimson?
I mean, at least for me,
For
no.
you, it's not?
No. For me, but I could see how it could be for other people.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I do fully enjoy being able to go into my different personas when I need to, you know, just to not be me for just a little bit.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel better. And then I'm fully able to, once I have to be forced back into my human skin, do the things that I need to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, edit all of our content and make sure that it's on the internet and pay bills and, you know, answer emails and all sorts of, like, work my store. So, like, it allows me to step outside of myself long enough to recharge just a little or a lot, depending on what I'm doing. And then I'm able to face the horror that is real life.
That's exactly it. Like, that's why I would also call it emotional regulation. Because, like, look, it really, I was like texting my partner the entire time we were at the photo shoot that we do with Kaluna. And if you guys don't know about Kaluna Embassy, we can go a little bit more in detail. But I had just gotten some news I didn't love from work, and I was really bummed out about it. Like, I was like, why do I bother doing anything? I worked so hard, and then nothing comes from it, yada, yada. Like, I was in a really dark spiral.
And we were trying to make her feel better.
And then just being able to be at this photo shoot, like slip into this just magical version of myself, getting to dress up pretty, getting to be outside in nature with the cherry blossoms, and just talking with good people, it really gave me the regulation I needed. So then while I was still upset and still struggling with it, it gave me a respite, but it also gave me the ability to be like, oh, okay, I've calmed down a little. I can now regulate this really horrible feeling I'm having. And maybe it takes a few days, you know, it's different for everyone. But I was like, oh, now this was like 4 less days of me being sad because I had this one thing in the middle of my week.
That is true.
That
You do
helped
tend to
ground
crash
me.
out like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I know it's true. And it helped ground me. And I could be like, oh, and a lot of it comes from just anxiety, racing thoughts, cyclical thinking with anxiety. So I was like, oh, I just had this thing. It helped bring me down. Now I can kind of reset. I might still be upset about it, but now
Yeah.
I can look at it more logically because I had that time just for me that had nothing to do with, oh my God, bills. Oh my God, my career. Oh my God, like, you know, paying off whatever, you know, I didn't have to think about
Paying
any
your
of
rent.
that. Paying rent. Like, I didn't have to think of any of that
No.
for just a few hours.
And that was enough.
And it was enough.
And the thing is I was also going through it that day.
Yes, you were.
Due to some other shit with stupid people. And honestly, I was just like, I was, oh my God, Crimson can attest because poor Crimson has to deal with me on, he is my emotional regulator.
Yes.
When I
Yeah.
get to a point, between him and Diginan, they're always holding me down because like I tend to go 0 to 60 very, very quickly. And then once I hit 60, I crash into a wall.
Valid.
And I'm like the crash test dummy who's just bleh. And then after it, I'm just like, nope, I don't want to get up. I don't want to move. Don't touch me. But then they're like, knock it off. We can do this. And I, get my brain in, because one of the things that I'm going to point out, especially when it comes to Whimsy, is that like we're adults, unfortunately. I hate it. I didn't sign up for this. But because we are adults, we have to schedule our whimsy.
Yeah.
Where kids just live in it like almost all the time until it's literally choked out of us by the world.
Which is really upsetting to think about.
You think about that. I mean, we're all millennials,
Yeah.
right? I'm in the elder millennial and you two are...
You're like the younger, like end of millennial era.
That's
Yeah.
you two. You two are the end of millennial era, but I am,
No, I think I am. I don't think she is.
You guys no.
I'm older than her.
So you would be Gen Z.
I'm 97.
Gen Z.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was kind of like,
You're the elder Gen Z.
exactly. So I was kind of in millennial, but not really. I was just surrounded by millennial.
You're a weird zennial,
Yeah, I'm like right in the middle.
Yeah.
because they keep moving the line.
Yeah,
and like
they keep
when,
moving it around.
Yeah.
'Cause
And then
it
they'll
used
set it
to be-
back, and then they'll go forward.
Exactly, because 97 used to be included in that.
Right. I
Yeah.
think it might still be, but I'm not exactly sure. So either way,
Either
you're
way.
either the very last of the millennials or the very first of the Gen Zs.
Yes.
Which is fine for you. But me being an elder millennial, I got to see a lot of stuff like just be killed off in me and the kids that were my age and around my age. And it kind of went from like all these magical things growing, like keep in mind, I grew up in I was born in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s, and during that time I got some of the most amazing TV shows, events. We were still like able to do certain things without the internet blasting it everywhere and all sorts of stuff. Cringe culture was not a thing.
No, it was not.
When I was growing up, even as a teenager, it started a little bit, but it wasn't to the point that it is now, where even as adults, they claim that cringe culture is, it becomes where it's like people are afraid to let their whimsical side out because of cringe culture, because of cancel culture, because of people just judging you for having a small spark of joy or creativity or anything like that. And it drives me absolutely batshit, because you got to see, especially when we're dressed up as, the Kaluna, when we do Kaluna Embassy and we go places, the way that people, adults and children, absolutely light up seeing a real fairy.
It just makes them happy. And I think for adults, in a lot of ways, it gives them that joy of like seeing. I find a lot of joy in seeing people feeling comfortable expressing themselves. And I can't say that for everyone, but I feel like especially for a lot of the adults that we meet, especially with their kids when we're doing Kaluna, they appreciate that we're kind of setting an example in a way that it's okay to be magical and to be yourself.
Even as an adult.
Even as an adult. Because look, I will say, like, I think my generation was very much the beginning of cringe culture, even though we didn't have the internet as much.
Yeah.
It was, every joke in a TV show or a movie was about like Comic-Con and the weirdos getting in the car. And the only time we kind of stopped being the negative joke was once The Big Bang Theory really came out, to be honest, whether you love it or hate it. I personally love it.
I do too.
And like I wanted to cosplay so badly, and I was told by my mother, no, you'll be a freak. Everyone's going to think you're a freak. And now
Good. Let me be a freak.
she understands, like, because once I became older, I was like, why I'm an adult. I don't need to listen to my mother about that. So when she saw like, oh, it's this creative outlet, and that's how you were able to like make friends, and how you were really able to find people that understood you.
Take that,
And
depression.
you were able to just do something that was creatively fulfilling for you. It's like, yeah, because that's what it should have always been about. We shouldn't be preconditioned to think just because you do something slightly outside the pale, especially when you're not harming anyone, that it's cringy or weird. And I just see it now with like kids not wanting. I was actually talking to a friend of mine about this recently. I think it might have been you, Jade.
Most likely.
That we don't really like have clubs anymore, which is why I love when we go to the events like the Black Parade, where people are allowing themselves to dance and have fun and let loose. Because now you can
Shout out to QXTs for that one.
like you can see it online. I've seen it in so many of these TikToks. Like kids, when I say kids, I mean like I guess like what are they, like 18, 19 now? But to me, kids, none of them dance at clubs. There's really no culture of just
they stand around and look at
they
their
just
fucking
stand around, they
phones.
stare at their phones, they look at the floor, and so much of it stems from this fear of being recorded and being made fun of online.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there's so much whimsy in pop culture as well.
Yes.
Like, we're talking, you have SpongeBob for,
Who loves
SpongeBob? That is definitely, I would say, chaotic whimsy to think that the sea creatures at the bottom are like, things like, then you have shows like Chowder. I loved Chowder.
I was a big Chowder fan.
Oh yeah.
Rada Rada.
Rada rada.
And then you also have like Adventure Time, which is like existential whimsy, but it was also low-key devastating.
Oh my God, yeah. Also, huge Adventure Time fan.
Huge Adventure Time fan. But like, we're talking like if you even want to go back, like Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland, and then Disney did Alice in Wonderland. And there's been so many iterations of Alice in Wonderland. That is like the original whimsy.
Oh, 100%.
Like that is the original fucking whimsy as far as I'm concerned. And then you also have like the Grand Budapest Hotel, which is an aesthetic controlled whimsy. Then you have, even if you want to go even darker, you have Pan's Labyrinth. Y'all cannot see, but Lavender is making the yes.
I am like praying to the god that is Doug Jones and Guillermo del Toro.
Yes, which we were so blessed to meet at Moonlight Market Expo.
Amazing.
And you need to stay tuned to our socials because we have an exclusive interview with Doug Jones.
Which was incredible. He's the nicest man alive. And great example of how someone can embody whimsy just in their being.
Yeah.
Like talking to Doug, he so fully embodies this idea of whimsy. Because whimsy doesn't just have to be, hey, you walked around in a fairy outfit.
Nope.
Whimsy can also be, you have a positive attitude on life despite things being around you negative. I think that in and of itself is a form of whimsy and rebellion.
I agree.
And it was so kind just talking to somebody who loved that people loved his work so much. And even just beyond him, but about like, oh, these things that these characters did for these people. And this is why I feel comfortable being my most authentic self with my fans. And it says a lot.
It does. It does. I mean, and it's like, I'm sure there's tons of other examples out there, like of any fantasy movie is whimsy. Like literally, like Lord of the Rings,
I love
fucking whimsy.
Oh, 100%.
Fucking whimsy. Elves and fucking orcs and wizards and hobbits. Like, come on, that's not fucking whimsy.
Akatar's whimsy.
Absolutely not.
Oh. Oh no.
That's sarcasm. TMB. I'm being whimsy.
Being nosy.
Nosy or annoying?
Yes.
Both.
But
Why not both?
like,
Yes.
like I feel like the whole romantasy genre has done a lot for whimsy. And it's really
It's bringing it back.
done so much, I feel like, for us as adults, because a lot of these are adult novels that have been coming out that have gained so much traction and popularity, like ACOTAR, like Fourth Wing. And it gives this whimsy while also using that whimsy to tell stories of resilience, to tell stories of unlikely protagonists being able to win and being able to bring joy back into a bleak situation.
Well, here, let me give you an example so Crimson can be a little bit more like, argumentative about whether this is whimsy or not.
Okay.
Digimon is whimsy. Who doesn't think that there are actual creatures that could be your partner in a digital world? That's whimsy. Same with Pokemon. It's whimsy. Because who wouldn't want these magical, powerful creatures to be your friend? That's whimsy.
Well, it depends on which ones.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because some of them are a little.
That's fair, though. But, like, you're going to sit there and tell me that's not whimsy?
It is.
Yeah.
At least, well, I can't speak for Pokemon, but for
Digimon.
Digimon, it is. Why? Because for those who don't know,
Why don't you know?
I'm going to explain.
Okay.
when it comes to Digimon and a certain kid or person having a Digimon, a Digimon as a partner, it's not as simple as just like, oh yeah, you just stumble upon a Digimon and then he's your partner, but that's not the case.
No.
Digimon, especially when it comes within the story, it is a reflection of the individual's personality.
Yeah,
And sometimes even inner personality.
I agree.
So, it hits a little bit more on the personal aspect
Mm-hmm.
than how Pokemon does. Pokemon is just like, oh, you go out, you just catch them. But
They can choose to jump out of the ball.
but we're talking about more on a personality, deeper emotional level.
Fair.
And I mean, hell, you could even use the new anime Beat Breakers as an example. Like, if any of the people out there that are listening have been watching the anime, I highly recommend it if you're not.
I'm gonna
Um,
catch up with that. I haven't been able to sit down and watch it.
It definitely touches on a little bit more serious aspects of the series than previous. And I think it kind of started from Digimon Survive, the
Mhm.
game. Because Digimon Survive, like, you have people actually dying
Oh,
in the game.
dark whimsy.
So it definitely touches on a lot of different aspects
I agree.
on that. Especially since, I mean, hell, even how they evolve is based on your emotions.
Yeah, that's whimsical.
Exactly.
That is so whimsical. And then, like, let's to even go so far as to some of the games that we play. Obviously, Magic the Gathering is fully whimsy.
That's not even an argument.
That's not even an argument. D&D, you have to be whimsical to play D&D.
Anybody who tries to argue that is stupid.
Not stupid, just uninformed
Yeah.
or stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never call
I could
anyone. We
agree
do
with
not
that.
call people stupid
I'm sorry.
to their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, I feel like, is the best form of like cozy whimsy.
I don't disagree.
Like, to me, it's such a whimsical, cozy thing to just be like, hey, I get to just make this life what I want to make it, even if it's just buying something from the store and planting a garden. Like,
I mean,
Jade
you
could
could
tell
use
you how
Stardew Valley as well.
obsessively. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, my thing I loved during COVID was I just made a nice little garden in my town, and I wasn't good at building anything else, but I just liked going as my little character and watering my flowers.
The
and
Sims.
Moving on.
If The
with
Sims
my
is,
day.
yeah, no, if The Sims is not also an example of like whimsy in a lot of ways, especially when they did that version of The Sims where it was like all the magical creatures where you could be like a
Yeah. Oh
vampire
my
or
God.
werewolf
They still
or
do it now.
fairies.
Yeah.
I know. But like, how is that like not a whimsical thing that they added to a very real game that was supposed to simulate real life? So obviously, because whimsy is such an intrinsic part of what humanity needs for that serotonin and dopamine hits, and as we are as children, why wouldn't we put it in one of the most beloved games that have ever been created?
Oh yeah, like that. I've always loved The Sims.
Oh
growing up.
yeah. Are you
I
kidding
still,
me?
I still have. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I still have it, unless I think I might have gave it to somebody and they fucking ended up keeping it. But
Mm.
I had the original Sims full collection.
Wow.
Oh my god, I loved it.
I
I
miss
played
Sims.
the hell out of that game.
Me too.
I only ever had the Sims they made for Nintendo DS. And I don't know what happened to it because I still have most of my DS games. And for whatever reason, that one is missing.
Your brothers.
Probably. I
Let's call a spade a
like
spade.
exactly. I had 3 younger brothers. It definitely got passed along somewhere, never to be seen
It
again.
was just stolen.
But
We
the
jumped out
Sims,
a
like I
window.
remember just loving it on DS. I've never played the PC version. But
I have. I would spend
I
hours.
loved the DS version. And I loved just being like, oh, I'm cooking my food in my kitchen. I'm getting my little dog. This couple is meeting at a bar. Like, I loved Sims and being able to like create your own reality.
Yeah, for real, for real. Like, and this is where it comes down to light versus dark whimsy. So I would define light whimsy as like, you know, the glittery, pixie dust, Disney fairies kind of whimsy, soft pastel, charming, glittery, and happy, and there's never anything wrong in light whimsy. Where dark whimsy is way more, it's like eerie, gothic, and just a little bit dangerous, if you ask me. And this is where our brand, the Feinics Gate, actually sits.
I was actually like, as soon as you brought up Disney Fairies, it's hilarious because I am obsessed with those books.
Yeah.
And they're pretty, like the early ones, dark whimsy.
Yes, definitely.
The things that happen to Tinkerbell in those books, man.
Yo.
She literally ends up with a knife. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy what they did to her.
It's crazy. So, like, I'll say Disney has definitely dipped its toe in dark whimsy, not even just with like the Disney fairies, but when you think about like Nightmare Before Christmas, that's a good example of dark whimsy. Darker.
Yes, definitely. I would also say that even Encanto
Yeah.
was very, had that dark whimsy because, like, who doesn't want to be part of a family that has powers, but then, of course, you're not the one.
Exactly. You're not the one that has them. And then even the ones that do have powers, they're being burned out to a crisp.
Right.
Because they're told they need to be a certain thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, like, dark whimsy always hits harder emotionally.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's going to explore the darker aspects of fairydom. Like, that's why even in ancient lore about fairies, you have a seelie and unseelie courts. You have the dark and you have the light. You had whimsical fairy creatures that wanted to eat you, and then you had the ones that wanted to play with you. And even then, even if they were the nice ones, they still were gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, because they have a completely different conception of what fucking with people is.
Agreed. And like, so like, even then, like, you need to understand that there are limitations to this in ways that like most people don't even understand. And that's why like it comes down to where it's very beautiful but very unsettling. Like, if you've ever like in every single epic that's ever been written, story that's ever been written, legend that's ever been written, you always find that something is beautiful but terrifying. Even in the Bible, they describe angels as beautiful but terrifying.
Have a million eyes.
To look at. How is that not whimsy?
Yeah.
It's not like, come on. Like in all the ancient legends about the different gods. Beautiful but terrifying. Terrifying to look upon. Their visage was so immaculate, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So, like, this is where it becomes, it's like, where is it? The dark is just, it still gets you in such a way where it pulls you in, but it also is enough to make you say, whoa, maybe a little bit too much there. And that's kind of where we can, like, circle back and say, like, Delulu, weirdo, aesthetic.
Yeah.
So like, because you sit there and tell me that being a goth is not whimsical, because it is.
It totally is.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I mean, like, look, we've kind of also from the internet been like, oh, whimsy goth, which is kind of like an updated kind of term, but like,
it's just a nice way of saying pastel goth. Shut up.
exactly. It's literally pastel goth. So like, there's so many ways that it can be just like enacted in small like forms of like personal style or like rebellion, right? Like,
agreed.
As much as I don't love Euphoria, I loved what the aesthetic of Euphoria season 1
Never watched it.
did for a lot of people's fashion. Like like people started like letting themselves be colorful again, letting themselves play with fashion in a way that, at least as I was a young adult, was very like frowned upon. Like, you didn't want to look too weird. You didn't want to look too out there in public. And then they did the show Euphoria. And while they did it for stylization purposes, it was incredible to see just like the response of people after that first season, with people literally throwing Euphoria themed parties.
Right.
And people getting all dressed up with their glitter on, with their corsets on, and just like really embodying this.
For me, that's just a Tuesday.
Nice look, And hey, that's like a very dark whimsy when you think about Euphoria, because it's all about the underbelly of addiction and depression and mental health issues in teens.
Agreed. So then this is where another question I'm going to have for the masses here. When does whimsy become escapism instead of enrichment?
I think that is a good question. And I think a follow-up question to that, just so I can kind of understand. Are you talking escapism negatively?
Yes.
And why is escapism inherently negative here?
Because you're now neglecting real life.
Okay, so you're talking about like extreme escapism. You're
I'm
not talking like
I'm
okay.
talking about where whimsy now becomes such a focal point of your life that you can no longer function in a normal neurotypical style of being. Which
Okay.
I'm not sitting here and shitting on it. Like if you have a routine, then you have a routine. I'm saying, when does whimsy become so much that you chase it to a point that it harms you as opposed to makes you feel better?
Oh, 100%. Like they say this about all therapy tactics, right? You need to have a little bit of everything. You can't have one true like therapy tactic. And it's not suggested because nothing is ever going to fully fill that void. But especially with escapism, that was one of the ones that when I was in DBT, that was something like, yes, it is an important form of self-soothing, but it can't be the only thing you're doing. There needs to be escapism, but also add on your other tools.
Right. So are you avoiding reality or are you enhancing it?
Like I say, you need to enhance it. It's like, yeah, I hugely view going to Disney for a week as my form of escapism, but it also enhances like my stress has leveled out. I allowed myself to have a lot of fun. Now I can step back into my life, feel better, feel more regulated, and take on the things that I was really struggling with.
What about you, Crimson?
When it comes to that, I think definitely having a sense of balance.
Yes.
Grounded
Um,
versus,
Yeah.
enchanted.
Yeah. Um so when it comes to that, it's definitely, trying to use it as an excuse to avoid, let's just say, responsibilities and stuff like that. That's like the extreme, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of like,
Agreed.
I have these important things to do, but I'd rather just, go on, a very crazy tangent of like whimsy and taking on this persona and this and that and yada yada yada, and you're just like, hey, you're kind of avoiding these things that you should be doing.
Yeah.
So definitely having that sort of balance is extremely important when it comes to this. It's obviously, need to take a breather, go out on a day and dress up as character if you go to a convention or
A Ren fair.
or anything like that, and you want to just dress up and play a character and all that, then that's great. But to do it on a regular, I mean, hell, I'll even
I would
just
say excessive, not regular.
no. I'm saying like on a regular. I'm just talking about if it's like bad to like an extreme. Right?
Yeah, excessive.
Excessive where it's just like every other day.
Oh no, then I'm excessive.
No, you're not.
I'm totally
Um,
excessive.
No. It's like every other day. And you're going out and dressing up like
As the
and-
fox.
let's just say as the fox, like for example, like
What does the
You're-
fox say?
and you're out like all day, right?
that
And
happens a lot. Where
no,
I'm out.
No. As the fox, and you're not really doing what you need to be doing.
Oh yeah, okay, that's different.
Okay, there you go. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh,
Picking up what you're putting
I'm just
down.
playing this character, and I'm just going out and socializing, and this is just like, yeah, don't get me wrong, that is great. Nope. But you do have things that you do
I
as
do.
an adult.
I don't
of
want to.
course. I know. A lot of people don't.
I don't want to.
I know.
So, all right. Like, here's my final question for you two. What is one whimsical thing that you have done recently?
Recently,
Yes.
I mean, we just had our event with Kaluna.
that's
I
true.
Yeah.
think that was a very fun, whimsical thing to do.
Yes.
But I think in a more grounded version of whimsy, even just sitting through my day and being like, you know what? I'm just gonna like dress nice today. I know I'm not going anywhere, I know I'm not doing anything spectacular, but man, would it just make me feel better to sit at my desk with a nice little sundress on that makes me feel great and fun and light? Yeah. Sometimes it can be as simple as that, folks.
Yeah. Even making your coffee. Instead, I'm making a potion.
Exactly.
It's a potion that makes me like you.
The best kind of potion for early morning meetings with European teams.
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
Facts. But what about you, Crimson? What is a whimsical thing that you have done recently? Because you were also there for our Kelowna
Yes.
embassy photo shoot at the Botanical Gardens.
What was the whimsical thing I did?
Yes.
Just take a wrench straight to a PC for a whole week.
That's not whimsy. That is just
That's whimsy, especially if I do it in a whimsy way.
it's rage. That's rage bait.
Range whimsy.
The window.
Rage is not whimsy.
No, at least as far as the Kelowna thing, that was probably the last thing that I did. That was like.
Oh,
in the aspect
really?
of
Are we not
whimsy.
going to talk about the other thing that is pretty whimsical?
Oh, you're talking
in a
about Iron
darker
Guard? Oh yeah,
way?
Iron Guard. That's just another last Friday of the month for me.
Last Friday night.
I don't. That's my routine. But
It's still
Nani?
it is still
Listen.
whimsical. Admit you are whimsical, you fucker.
it. Listen. No, because the no. I mean that's because the thing is when it comes to Iron Garden, I'm actually there, not like. I'm there taking care of things. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not enjoying it. I am. I do. But it's not like it's like whimsy. But no, I usually like I like talking to people there and just busting their balls.
Yeah,
That's
like you're
what-
doing to me right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm yanking your chain.
You're yanking my leg.
But yeah, no, like I don't know. I don't really consider that personally for me. I don't consider that as like whimsy.
Whimsy.
Like, nah.
I
No, but you know, that I mean, as of lately, I haven't really done anything whimsy since the Kelowna event.
Fair. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So me, I am actually pretty lucky. Besides our Kelowna event that we went to the Botanical Gardens, I also managed to go to Salem,
Very nice.
where I did get to, play around in Salem as the fox. And I was with the Winter's Doe. And we did get to go around and meet people and just, people actually mistook us for buskers,
For what?
street performers.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that makes total sense because they have a really intense
Salem, yeah.
street performer culture there.
Right.
Especially around Halloween.
People were like asking if we were performing. We were like, no. Did you want us to? Because we can. I mean, if you want to give me human monies, I will take it. As to quote Danhausen. But like on top of that, like I also kind of find the time as best as I can every day to find whimsical stuff. Like I'm lucky enough to, because I run game nights every Thursday now, I am able to dip into the world of Magic the Gathering and be whimsical in that way, as well as be around everyone else who's doing the D&D, the Call of Cthulhu, Pirate Borg. I'm able to be whimsical in that way once a week at the very minimum, as well as also like whenever we get together and do this show. I find it whimsical, honestly, because we talk about so many different things. And then I can even sit there and say that sometimes just reading one of my books
Yes.
is an act of whimsy because I can immerse myself in a world that is not this one.
And it takes you away from that responsibility, even if just for an hour every single night before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Agreed. But any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. I mean, like I had mentioned before, there's when you're going out and embracing the whimsy. Embracing the whimsy. Just I guess as a general day-to-day life sort of thing, just keep it a balance.
Yeah. Keep it a bean.
Yeah, keep it balanced.
Lavender.
I'm
sorry.
sorry. No, I think that's like I was gonna say. I think that's like that. That's like the only thing I have to say for that.
I was going to say, like, poor Crimson was ready to get higher on his soapbox,
No.
start his dissertation. But I would say it's just really important to have those things in your life. Obviously, with moderation and with the things that you need to be able to cope and still live your everyday life. But having those small little things that give you joy, I've come to learn as an adult, and even like deeper entrenched as someone who is not neurotypical, having those little pieces of joy are really important to my coping and the way that I can sometimes help myself recontextualize harder situations.
Yeah.
So everyone, I think it's healthy for everyone to have that form of whimsical outlet. Just don't let it harm other aspects of your life. And even just that everyday act of rebellion whimsy of just getting up in the morning and saying, you know what? It's going to be a good day, even though literally everything going on in the world isn't good, but I'm going to make it a good day. And I think that's really important to just be able to survive as a human being in this world.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I guess my closing thought's going to be, honestly, find a way to make, everyday whimsy for yourself, like dressing a little extra for no reason, as Lavender mentioned before. Naming your plants like their coworkers.
They're the best.
Or turning mundane routines into rituals like coffee is potion brewing, stuff like that. Or even just tiny little chaos choices like taking a different route to go home or to the store, or, when you're in a supermarket, pretending that you're, hunting for food in the wild. Like little things like that to just take yourself out of everyday mundane life and just give yourself a little bit of that brain glitter that I mentioned in the beginning. And as always, thank you for listening. Stay tuned. We're going to be back. And now, as always, follow us on all the socials. And until then, say bye.
Bye.